all right.
Yes, we are in court, Lily. Earlier you were mentioning about Ken Ofori-Atta and then
the OSP.
The OSP, yes. Ken Ofori-Atta following the recent development where the Office of the Special Prosecutor, led by the Special Prosecutor Kissi Agyebeng, declared him wanted for somebody who is running away for a fugitive from justice. Following from that, even before then, we realized that Ken Ofori-Atta, in the course of last week, sued 2 police officers for raiding his home and all of that. On top of that, it's also taking notice of the incident or things done by the Special Prosecutor, and then he has gone to court. He sued the Special Prosecutor for that press conference, for that indication declaring him wanted. In fact, you made mention about the fact that following his response to the OSP and all of that, the OSP has decided to take him off the wanted list of order. The OSP has also come up with a response, a reply. But let's go through all of this for you to understand what exactly the whole matter is. So on your screens now is the artwork that we have put together. So these are the reliefs that Ken Ofori-Atta is seeking by way of that originating motion that is filed at the Human Rights Court. And that's why you notice that earlier, some time past, when the OSP did a similar thing in relation to Mr. Charles BCU, he also went to the Human Rights Court in relation to that. So
and that case is still in court?
That case, the Human Rights Court refused the case at some stage, but he's gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is yet to determine. At the last court sitting when the case was called, the parties were not available, so it has been adjourned. But we'll know more in relation to all of that. But Ken Ofori-Atta, one, is questioning the media briefing that has declared him wanted and all of that. So he has, that's one of the relief that he's seeking, that the OSP has no statutory power to make that particular media briefing and then declare him wanted or fugitive from justice. So that's the first point that he's asking. And then the second point also, the second declaration, is that the OSP also has no power other than what is provided for the police to declare a person wanted, and same cannot be done without leave of the court. So you notice that the OSP generate a lot of powers from the court. Whatever he intends to do or the office ought to do, you have to go to court, ask for the court blessing before you do that, especially so also because if you want to declare somebody, that you have to even be in court for the court to endorse that this person has been declared wanted. So everywhere you find the person could be arrested. And the third point that is also asking, a lot of making for that, the OSP in exercising 8 powers of the police as provided under Section 28 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, and also make the point that the Office of the Special Prosecutor's Operation Regulations 2018 LI 2374 is bound by a limit placed on the exercise of discretionary power as enshrined in the service instructions of the police service under Article 200 and consistent with Article 296 of the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution. So this is one of the reliefs also that Ken Ofori-Atta is seeking by way of whatever he's asking for the court in relation to the action that he has initiated through his lawyers at the Human Rights Court and all of that. So these are some of the declarations. In a bit, I will tell you about some consequential orders that he's seeking. So, Director, if let's just move absolutely. So, one another declaration that he's seeking is that it is unlawful. The unlawful declaration made against him by way of declaring him wanted on all of that constitutes a violation of his right of personal liberty as enshrined in Article 14 of the 1992 Constitution, and the right to free movement enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution as well, and Article 12 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, as well as Article 12 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. So these
conditions answer and tell us where the money is there. You are giving us Brofwen law. My brother, no, you people have dug a whole year, $58 million. No. If it was your personal money, would you have used it for that?
He said before he answers, whatever step that the OSP took in declaring him was not the
But the OSP later came out to say that he's been taken off the wanted list. What is this back and forth? So he's rather is resurrecting the issue in the media. He's getting Ghanaians angry.
This action has prompted the OSP to reply. Then let's go to the next slide. Okay, so and there's any act of the Office of the Special Prosecutor as a state agency that violates the applicant's human rights will amount to a breach of Ghana's international treaty obligations under the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So that's one of the things that he's also pointed out in all of that. So let's go. These are some of the things that he stated by way of the declarations that he's made. I want to take you through the consequential, okay, absolutely. The orders that he's seeking from the court by way of all that he has tabled before the court by way of the that particular declaration made by OSP. First, he's saying that for the Supreme Court, the Human Rights Court, I beg your pardon, should declare that for the immediate removal of the photographs and details of the applicant, then the applicant here is Ken Ofori-Atta from the wanted list on the website of the OSP. So he makes the point that when you go to the OSP's website right now, his details are there, and then he has been declared wanted. He wants the court to ask or compel the Office of the Special Prosecutor to have that removed. His photograph should be removed from that particular one. Can you look at the next slide, please? In relation to the consequential orders that Ken Ofori-Atta is seeking from the office or from the court by way of the declaration that was made by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. One of the orders that he's also seeking is that for an injunction restraining the Office of the Special Prosecutor from carrying out its threats in the press release issued on the 18th of February 2025 of repeating the unlawful re-entry of the applicant's name as the wanted person or declaring him a wanted fugitive from justice. So one of the things that the OSP or the Ken Ofori-Atta has been saying in relation to that. And Lily, just this morning, the
OSP has also responded. And you know, it would have been interesting if I had not seen any response from the OSP.
You knew that the OSP.
Yes. See, the OSP. There are certain people in this country that are very, very predictable.
The OSP is
and he's one of them. Yes. And if he had not responded, I would have been surprised.
So all that you ought to do is just to be very alert on the social media platform of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. They are very prompt and very
proactive. Yes.
When it comes to when they are, in fact, updating the nation, updating everyone on the cases that the OSP is prosecuting and all of that. It's one thing that they have. And the response just came. And look at the date, 17th March.
That's this morning. Yes.
Yeah, this morning. So start from.
So the OSP says the lawsuit cannot save you. Just calm down. Come and respond. Absolutely. And you see, and that's the same sentiment I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, if this was done in February, you say that you are unwell. What is this back and forth using the law to drag the process? My brother, you, Ken Ofori-Atta, you sat down and watched your big brother or your cousin, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, allow people waste $58 million in digging a hole filled with water and mosquitoes, and you want us to sit aloof and watch you use the law dilly-dally with us.
I'm sure that's why we have the law. So when you disagree with situations like that, you just have to go to court. And once he's in court, we'll just give him that benefit of the doubt. The thing that yes,
just come to Ghana. Come and yes, we allow you to go to court, but come to Ghana. Stop using the law and I'm not well, I am well. That is what a lot of Ghanaians do. When the law catches up with them, they say, I am not well, I am well, I am not well. Every day they are not well. Oh, boy.
Okay, so the OSP's response even provides some context to the point that you have just made. I'm just going to go through with you. So, the Office of the Special Prosecutor acknowledges a lawsuit filed by Ken Nana Yao Ofori-Atta, contesting the OSP's prior declaration that he was a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. Second paragraph. Mr. Ofori-Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons with the assurance to the OSP that he will make himself available for questioning on a definite date. The OSP, in good faith and on the basis of Mr. Ofori-Atta's assurance, granted his request and removed his name from the Office of the Special Prosecutor's list of wanted persons pending his personal attendance at the Office of the Special Prosecutor on the definite date. Mr. Ofori-Atta is mandatorily required to appear in person before the OSP on June 2nd. So he's expected to appear before the OSP on June 2nd, 2025. If Mr. Ken, and this is what where it gets very interesting, Lily. If Ken Ofori-Atta fails to attend the OSP on the scheduled date, he shall be re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons, and the OSP shall consider him a fugitive from justice. And this is the word that he doesn't want to hear. Whereupon the OSP will cause the issuance of Interpol red notice in his regard, and also cause the initiation of extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction in which he may be found. The OSP remains unwavering in its commitment to enforcing the laws of ensuring that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta answers for his role as the prime suspect in 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related activities, and this was signed by the Kissi Agyebeng, the special prosecutor, and the 5 things that is spoken about, including the
GRA and
the
SML, National Cathedral, the taxi funds. Yeah.
Ken Ofori-Atta has filed a suit. Yes, the OSP has taken notice of that and then has replied. But of course, the proper reply will have to be done to the matter in court. So in the coming days, we'll be following that closely, and then we'll tell you what more will happen. But what is clear is that Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, has initiated the human rights actions trying to clear his name, and the OSP will have to respond to that.
But you know what I find fascinating? If you knew that you wanted to take up the matter in court, right? Why did you write to the OSP after he declared you wanted that? You make yourself available.
There are a lot of people who think that whenever the OSP declares you wanted, they simply have issues with that. And this is not the first time. I mentioned the issue about the Charles BC one. The issue about Madam Sita Dapa also came out. He also filed a similar action against the OSP at some point in time, all of that. So some of them think that the OSP doesn't have that absolute power. It is only the police that can go to court and seek for a wanted declaration and all of that. And that power is, like they mentioned in the rate that he's filed his declaration on all of that. But we'll get to know more. Now he's told the OSP that he's coming back on the June 2nd to appear before the OSP. And the OSP has also made it clear that, look, you are out of the country now. Based on your assurances, we have taken your name out of the wanted list. If that day you do not come, we'll reinstate your name or re-enter your name onto that particular list. But that action also has been filed in court, and we'll monitor that closely. So in relation to what is happening in corruption and corruption-related activities, the banter, I call it a banter between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the former finance minister is getting very interesting. So following the action in court, the OSP has also responded by way of a press statement this morning.
Anyway, what else is coming up in court?
ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. What's your own take on ADR, Lily?
I think that people should resort to it. ADR. It saves time. Yeah, it really, really saves time.
So one institution that is playing vital role in ensuring that we have enough ADR professionals in the system, the Institute of Paralegal Training and Leadership Studies, IPLS. And in fact, this whole week is an ADR. And what they are doing is to churn out a lot of ADR portal. You know, it's a court-connected program. And this week, they said the launch is happening in Kumasi. In fact, this morning, where the whole week, certain cases, certain court will be allowed to do that. But some persons have been trained in this whole matter, studying ADR and how they can bring their expertise to facilitate and resolve dispute in all of that. So the IPLS graduated 60 more students to be able to come out, assist in resolving matters that ordinarily would have gone to court, parties would have spent so much money and all of that time, you waste time and all of that. So the application of ADR or using ADR becomes a very professional or very easy tool for resolving. So that's the program. The president of the national.
So what do? You sign up. How do you sign up?
So this very one is a training. They train you on how to resolve ADR cases, practical training on how to deal with situation, how you are confronted with situation, how parties come before you with their issues. Ordinarily, that case would have gone to court. And how you as a professional need to position yourself to be able to resolve issues that come before you and all of that. So this training is to equip and enhance their expertise on the field.
How long is this training?
So it's a training that it varies.
Okay.
Sometimes 6 months, sometimes 4 months, and a year of a sort. And so that is what happened in relation to that. But the patron of IPLS, Mr. Alex Nati, has been speaking in relation to this very exercise. Let's hear it.
This graduation is larger and the enthusiasm is so high. My message is that Ghana is at a point where we need people who approach handling their affairs from what we call an interest-based approach. ADR people use interest-based approach a lot, and that actually is the principle that underpin alternative dispute resolution practice, properly so-called. Anytime you hear about ADR, the first thing that must come to your mind is how to handle issues in an amicable manner. The presence of many people in the world and around whatever we do clearly speaks to us that we operate in diversity, but we don't allow diversity to divide us. We build consensus in order to solve problems in the manner that all of us around will be beneficiaries. And so ADR serves its professionals or trainees with this principle of interest-based approach. And this interest-based approach stems from the principle inclusivity that is espoused under democracy and rule of law. Inclusivity. If you do not learn how to incorporate the views and the opinions of all stakeholders and incorporate them into a common tool that serves everybody, then you may put in any effort that you want to make, you still not succeed.
So that is Mr. Alex Nati, the patron of PLS, in relation to what this exercise is about and how it is geared towards equipping professionals to do that. But you note that the president made a call about this whole Boko issues and how we should be able to come together to fight the issue, to resolve the matter and all of that. So I've been asking how vibrant is ADR supposed to be used, or what role would the ADR play? And as professionals, are they ready to heed to the president's call?
The president is right in calling all of us to be concerned and offer what we can to support the resolution of the Boko conflict. But the truth of the matter is that the Boko conflict has, gone beyond private service provision. It has become a national issue. So the sole leader that will, marshal all of us to come on board is the president. If the president, gives a directive as to what he wants us to help him to do as far as the Boko conflict is concerned, why not? Boko conflict, like any other conflict, is mediatable. It is resolvable. It is not beyond human ability, except that the moment the Boko crisis got into political hands and the people feel that politicians must play a role and they are not playing the expected role, that is why it still lingers on. I think that the president must not end there. He must remain committed to it. And whenever he opens up the process, why not? We'll bring our expertise to bear to assist in handling the issue.
So So that is the patron of IPLS, Mr. Alex Nartin, making the point that, look, the Boko issue, ADR can resolve the matter, but it has gone beyond a private matter to a national issue. And if all practitioners or all stakeholders are brought to the fore, I think the fight against or resolving the dispute in Boko will be done in an amicable way and all of that. But Lily, the president of the Ghana National Association of ADR Practitioners, Mr. Daniel Owusu-Kranton, has also been speaking. And one thing that happened earlier when at the latter part of President Nana Addo Dankwa's Akufo-Addo's reign is to the effect that an ADR board was constituted. But a national body and an association like the National Association of ADR were not included. They don't have members in all of that. He's raising a concern to that. Let's hear him.
We want to have access to justice. Now, there's a growing interest of people with diverse professional backgrounds, such as priests, police servants, educationists, accountants, military officers, lawyers, politicians, unionists, medical officers, chiefs, etc., who are showing keen interest in becoming ADR practitioners. I have been told that most of you here, you come from very, very different professional backgrounds. That is what is going to enrich the ADR practice as possible. This is indicative of the important role of ADR in resolving many of the bottlenecks in our judicial system, especially how the courts are choked with cases, resulting in delays in the handling of cases, thus increasing the cost of litigation. Despite the important role of addressing some of the problems of our judicial system, there's no representative from an ADR professional body on the governing board of the ADR Center, as provided in section 117 of the ADR Act 798/2010. Probably, the explanation would be that at the time of drafting the ADR Act in 2010, there was no professional body for the ADR practitioners in the country. But now we have NAP as the only ADR professional body in Ghana. And I want to use this ceremony to call on government to review the ADR Act 798/2010 to include NAP on the governing body of the ADR Center. The colonial administration left us with a legacy of a colonial judicial system based on litigation.
So that is the president of NAP, Mr. Daniel Owusu-Kranton, making the call that the president should review the ADR Act to be able to ensure that professional body like NAP has a representation so that the cause of ADR will be championed in the manner in which, for instance, dealing with the Boko issue and all of that. So that's one of the things that he's actually spoken about, and the president or the stakeholders will have to look at it in ensuring that whatever they want to do and making sure that dispute or things that ought to be resolved using ADR are actually addressed with. But the last thought that I have with you in relation to this whole graduation and all of that is Teresa Efua Brown, who is the rector of IPLA. He's spoken to us about how this whole training equip the practitioners.
Also another special group, and we see it more special because this time, unlike the previous ones where we've been graduating both online and in person together, this time only the in-person for November 2024 have been graduated this time, and we see it to be a great achievement for IPLS because we see the number increasing by the day. We see ADR practitioners being raised for great job, for great disputes to be solved, for peace to reign. We need positive peace because for ADR, when you use ADR to solve issues, we end with positive peace. We say positive peace because when issues emerges and people are allowed to air out their views, it brings out a healing, a kind of healing in the end of the resolution. And so you realize that at the end, no one will feel like he or she is being cheated. ADR solves issues with positive peace.
So that is Teresa Efua Brown. She is the rector of your IPLS. I'm talking about ADR. It's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah,
if you use ADR
to
resolve it. Other than the court that it's one party that wins, the other party
for
loses.
the ADR, everybody
because
gets
both
satisfied.
of you agree on the terms and settlements.
On the awards.
Absolutely. So this week, like I said, marks the ADR week. And this morning, a function is being performed to launch it. Throughout the week, if you have cases and all of that, adopt ADR to be able to resolve issues. So that's the point that we'll be looking at by way of what is coming up today.
Okay. All right, Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lily. Do enjoy your...
You too. I'll catch you on the flip side, definitely. So that's it for court today.